Good morning, everyone. Welcome to freedailycoaching.com. Good morning and welcome. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone for all of the wonderful birthday wishes. I want to say thank you to Mrs. Felicia Mupo for hosting the webinar on Tuesday. And some exciting stuff, guys. Felicia has been doing some of her own webinars, as well as Phil. You guys know Phil Aguilar. And a bunch of you guys have stepped up to do some guest hosting here at Free Daily Coaching. And Felicia is actually going to take a regular spot and start doing some Tuesday morning webinars, I believe. It's going to be Tuesdays or Wednesdays. And so super excited about that. I want to say congratulations and thank you to Christina Irvin for rocking out her first guest host. So she did a guest spot yesterday. So really excited. I wasn't able to check that out yet, so I'll go back and watch what Christina was able to bring to you. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that stepped up. I know that Tom has stepped up and done a webinar, Clive, Felicia, Phil, Kevin and Pauline are scheduled to step up, so super excited about that. And then really excited about what we've been doing on Thursdays. And this morning we have a special guest. We've been able to do an interview series. Now, sometimes I'm able to tell you that this is the very first time that our guest has been on Free Daily Coaching. This morning, that's not the case. We have been really lucky to be able to have multiple different times to be able to interview this leader, really someone that's become a great friend of mine and an incredible mentor. Now, the fun part of about working with some people is that sometimes you have an opportunity to really connect with people. You know, in your home-based business, sometimes there's just people that you work with, and then there's people that you work with that you really get to connect with, that you get to start modeling not just your business, but some of the things that you're doing in life after these people, because they're examples of the way that you should be. When I say that, I mean the way that you should be a person, the way that you should be treating other people in and out of your business. And I've been able to learn so many lessons on so many different levels from this specific individual that it's my privilege really to be able to have him so many times come over to Free Daily Coaching and share with you guys. If there's anything that I can tell you that would be a game changer for you, it would be the people that you're connected with. It would be the people that you're working with. Ask yourself this question. Every time I talk about this guy, he makes me cry. Ask yourself this question every time. I'm going to be able to do it one time. I'm like going to be able to ever do it. One time I'm going to be able to talk about justice without crying. I want you guys to think about this. Is there someone in your business, in your life right now? Is there a mentor? Is there a friend? Is there someone in your circle that doesn't just tell you, but actually will show you the way that they're doing it and the way that they're having success so that you can enjoy those results too? If you don't have that person in your business, then you should go to my website. No, I'm just teasing you guys. If you don't have that, then you should plug into Justice, right? He's going to get, by the end of the call, he's going to show you his website where we'll get you connected to his Facebook. But hands down, guys, Justice and you guys, we got to interview Adam last week. Justice and Adam were two of the guys in the very beginning of when I started marketing online that literally showed me, took me by the hand and showed me exactly step by step how to do this. And since then, guys, Justice has, as many other leaders have, Justice has literally taken me under his wing and said, hey, let me show you what I have learned. And because of that, I owe a debt of gratitude to him like nothing else. And I want you guys all to plug into exactly what he's doing. If you're not plugged into Justice Eagan, if you're not on his email list, if you're not on his Facebook, like I don't know what you're doing, right? But you're missing out on a huge treasure chest of life benefits, right? We keep them in that treasure chest because that when you open that up, every time you reach in there, you're like, oh my gosh, look, there's more stuff. And every single day he's putting more stuff in there, guys. Every single day. So good morning, Justice. Sorry about the long-winded.
You know, I like every time we talk, I get emotional too. It's like I'm like tearing up over here with that introduction. You know, you mean so much to me. Like I can't even begin to explain to you guys what knowing Bert and what watching him do in this industry has just inspired me to be better. You know what I mean? It just makes me want to go out there and work harder. And yeah, I mean, it's like waterworks every time we talk, Bert. We got to like, I don't even know if we can record this stuff.
I know, right? It's every single time, too. It's even if, like, we call each other. You're like, okay, bro, I'll talk to you later. I love you. Thank you for being awesome. You know, Justice, I think that speaks volumes. I think it speaks volumes that what that really means is that effectively you've reached out and you touched another human being's life, and the amazing part is that essentially you've enabled your reach to now transfer across to literally hundreds and maybe thousands of people because of your inspiration, or because of your motivation and what you did and that example that you created with your actions because of the mentors that you were following. What you essentially created was that you ensured that the message that you have been teaching me gets taught and gets disseminated, right? It gets carried on to more and more and more people, and that to me means it's powerful. It means a lot to know that. If you know that, think about that, guys. If you're on this call, think about how powerful it can be to be with a leader that literally, like, every time that you talk to them, it's like it brings you to tears because you're so grateful. That's powerful, right? What it means is that you changed my life, bro.
Well, I think, you know, I think there's probably a bigger lesson in the first 8 minutes of this call than anything we can bring to you through question and answer, or anything I can say in the next, you know, however long we're on here. You know, I want to point something out, and I hope everybody realizes this, and that is that there are people watching you, and there are people paying attention to what you're saying, and there are people that are waiting to hear from you. And, you know, I think a lot of times people identify themselves in one place or the other, right? There's one side of the fence and there's the other side of the fence. I say, you know, you got to step on the other side. I remember when Diane Hockman said one time on a webinar, you know, you got to make a conscious decision to step on the other side of the cash register, right? Now that's in reference to making, you know, money, making sales. But, you know, what I think everybody sees it as, you know, as you're all or nothing. You're either on one side or you're on the other side, right? You're either listening to the call or you're giving the call. You're either the one being taught or you're the one doing the teaching. And you can't, and people don't see that you're really both, okay? And you're both at all times. And what happens is a lot of times everybody, because guys, when we've got to be the person that's going to impact people's lives, the person that's going to earn $1 million, the person that's going to build a massive team. We've got to be that person well before we have those things, right? And so a lot of times everybody sits, you know, they see themselves as the student, just the student, right? And they see themselves as the person that's still learning, getting ready to get out there and share their message, getting ready to spread the word, getting ready to impact somebody on, you know, in any way they can, and they don't realize that they're shortchanging not just themselves, but they're shortchanging people out there. And you play both sides of that fence right now. Okay, what you have to understand, and where so many people seem to just, I don't know, something doesn't click, is they're just not. They're only living in one role, okay? They're living in the student role. And, I mean, we did on the 100-Day Challenge recently, we did a webinar on the power of becoming the trainer. And we talked about doing one-on-one calls, just getting people on the phone, and how much it will build your confidence. It will make you understand that there's somebody out there that knows less than you. And that's who your prospect is, guys. Okay, see, if forever you stay in a place where you sit here and go, I can't wait until I know what Justice knows, I can't wait till I know what Bert knows, I can't wait till I know what this person knows, so that I can then share. Okay, you're not understanding your place, you know, in this industry, in the marketplace, in the world for that matter. You know, the reality is is that your prospect are the people that you're one step ahead of. And everybody's one step ahead of somebody. Okay, everybody is one step ahead of somebody. And that person needs you, and I've got news for you. You can solve that person's problem and deliver a message to them likely as well, if not better than myself or Bert can, okay, because you're almost closer to them. You're closer to their experience. Okay? You know, where we were last year, Bert, you know, when we're talking, you know, 100-day challenge, right? I was at a certain place in my life and business. You were at a certain place in your life and business. Our places have changed. We've moved forward. Our prospects have changed. The pool of people that we can affect has grown. Okay? But the person that's where we were last year, okay, the person that, like, where you were last year, Bert, okay, that person may be better taught by the person, me, where I was last year, because I was closer to your experience. It was fresher. Where you were sitting, the shoes you were in, they were fresher. Okay, so I don't care if it's your first day, your first week, your first month, your first year in this industry. It does not matter. There is somebody who is walking in the shoes you were walking in yesterday. And if you don't recognize that you're capable, that you have a responsibility to share, to reach out, to help, to guide, to train, and you think that that right now you're just in consume mode until you're ready, or until you're ready to teach a different prospect, okay, then you're doing yourself, you're doing, even worse, you're doing the marketplace a disservice. Understand, your job is to share, and I don't like down, because people aren't below us. Do you know what I mean? From a skill level, though, I mean, when you're in the workplace, right? You know, I used to hear, and I believe this was a military thing, the phrase "bitch up," right? You got a problem in the workplace, you bring it up, right? You bring it to your boss, right? Because when you bitch laterally or you bitch down, those people can't solve your problem. That's where the water cooler talk is born. That's where the negativity festers in the work environment, right? If you have something, you know, if you have something that needs to be addressed in a workplace, you take it up. I want you guys to see, I feel like that's where people live when it comes to sharing information in the marketplace. They think, man, I've got to learn something that teaches Justice. I've got to learn something that teaches Bert. I've got to learn something and bring something new to, you know, to the marketplace, when in reality, we've got to flip the way we look at that. And you've got to share down. You've got to impact down. And it doesn't mean that you can't share something that helps. It doesn't mean it won't help someone that knows a little bit more than you, that's further in the industry, all that different stuff. But you have to recognize that every day you consume information, every day you're in this industry, the pool of people you can help grows, because there's somebody coming to the internet, there's someone coming to YouTube, there's someone coming to the website looking for an answer that you didn't have yesterday that you have today. Okay, and I feel like that is the biggest disconnect that exists, you know, in the, you know, in our world. And you know, if you guys can get that, and if you guys can be strong enough, be bold enough to turn around and want to have somebody give you an introduction like that, even if it's on a three-way call, even if it's on your first three-way call, the first person that you impacted, they go, oh my God, this person reached out to me, they shared this, my days have been better, I know this now. And maybe it's the first person you've talked to. It doesn't matter. That, like, it is, if you guys understand that people are watching you, and you help the person that was in your shoes yesterday, everything can change for you. Everything. And believe me when I tell you that there are people out there, those people that it is likely you are in a better position to help that person than I am or that Bert is, okay, because you just walked in their shoes. I hope that sinks in with at least a couple of people on here. I hope I explained it clearly enough.
I think you did. It says over in the, I don't know if you read the chat, but it says, great way to hear this. Michelle wrote in. So It makes total sense. And, you know, I think you're absolutely right when you say that this is a part where a lot of people get disconnected because it's it's hard not to think if you're and it's just like how we've been trained. It's like when you're a student, you feel like you're the student. And so trying to be a student and train, it's like it's like, how do you do that? And I'll tell you the simplest way that you guys showed me, Justice, was whatever you teach me today is what I'm teaching tomorrow. So and what that does is it makes me, when I do that model, it requires me every single day to go out and learn something new. Go out and make myself better so that tomorrow I have something to share. And if I do that, I never have to come up with anything.
Yeah.
I don't have to get like, all of a sudden, I don't have to get all worked up like, oh my gosh, what is my content going to be? Guys, this is one solution right here that will eliminate the challenge of ever having to think of what content to build. Imagine if every single day you went to, I'm just going to use Justice because he's here, what a great example. What if you just went every day to Justice's website? You went to his blog and read his blog article. You go to his YouTube channel and watch his new YouTube videos on how to generate leads. What if you did that every single day? And what if you did it not just with Justice, but what if you picked Justice and 2 other people? Let's just say. Let's pick Justice. Let's say Gary Vaynerchuk, because he's just fun and entertaining, right? All of his stuff
I couldn't
is.
sleep last night. I was watching Gary Vaynerchuk videos at like 2:30 in the morning. 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's just entertaining. You can get stuck. You're like, what happened? You're like, I don't know. I Gary V'd out. And like, what happened? I V'd out last night, dude.
You should never get so excited about the F word. You know what I mean? Like.
I know, right? You're like, I never knew speaking foul language could be so entertaining, but it's really fun, right? So let's say you have Justice, you have Gary Vaynerchuk, and let's say, I don't know, let's pick someone on the other extreme. Let's say Danny Johnson, right? Let's say you just picked those 3 people and you went to Justice's site every single day, Gary's site, you stopped by Danny's site, you check all 3. Hey, guess what, guys? If you haven't learned something from those 3 people to share to everyone else, like, I don't think that you went to those sites really, right? That's the reality. You could go and learn something today and then just teach it, and then that's it. There's your content. You don't have to come up with some great epiphany. You don't have to have been blogging for the last 27 years, right? I don't know how that would be called writing a diary back in the day, because 27 years ago there was no blogging, right? But you don't have to, be like some kind of great video production master, right? Justice, do you have a professional video studio in your house?
No, it's so funny because I was just shopping yesterday for some stuff to take my video marketing to the next level, right? I mean, I just shopping for my first lighting kit, for my first microphone. My YouTube channel just hit 1 million views, 100% organic, no purchased views, no paid traffic. Okay, all done without that stuff. All done without that stuff. And it's wild. I want to encourage you guys to just really be aware of something. I personally, and so here's what I do. When I want to take my business to the next level, I start talking to more people. I start connecting with more people. I start doing more coaching calls. Somebody has a question. I get out of, let me, build this capture page mode, and I get into, I want to start getting people moving mode, okay? And I'll tell you why. Because it gets me moving, okay? Because it gets me fired up. Because it gets me going. Because it taps me in with people and their challenges and all that great stuff. And lately I've been doing loads of coaching calls. I've got a couple different programs going, and I was giving away coaching calls on my blog last week. And here's the nature of just about every call. The questions start as, what's the best marketing strategy? I've tried this, I've tried that. I want to do videos. What's the best camera? How do I make my videos? How do I get more people to see my videos? How do I'm going to make a statement, then I'm going to try and make sense out of it for you. Be selfish the right way. Okay. When I was at Ray's event, Russ Whitney, who has gone into the realm of personal development now with his new inner voice program, said, listen, I do this selfishly, right? When I impact you, it makes me feel better. Okay, don't be confused. A lot of what I do here is for me. Okay, it is for me. It's my, when I train and when I speak and when I do these calls, guys, that's my medicine, so to speak. Okay, if you've ever felt down or depressed or unfocused or any of these things, right? I've been there. I've been where I didn't want to drag myself out of bed. Here's my medicine. My medicine is getting up, helping people, okay? And everybody's looking for their medicine to be what kind of camera to use, what marketing strategy to use. How do you make sales? They think the money is going to be their medicine. The sale is going to be their medicine, that it's going to be what makes them want to do more, what makes them get better, what makes them believe more, right? And understand, if you're constantly asking questions like, hey, what's the best way for me to get, what's the best marketing strategy for me? Don't people say this to Bert? Bert, don't people say this to you? Now that you know me a little bit, now that you know a little bit more about me, okay? Now, I understand you couldn't answer this question before, but now that you know me more, what do you think the best strategy is for me? What do you think the best tagline is? What do you think? Where do you think I'm going to make that? What do you think I should sell? What do you think I should lead with? Right? And those are all real. They're legit questions, guys. And I'm not knocking the questions. I understand where they come from, but they're the wrong kind of selfish. Okay? They're the I need to feel better by making a sale. I need to feel better by getting more fans. I need to feel better by getting more leads. I need to feel better by getting more traffic. I need to feel better by having the answer, right? And that's all important stuff. It's all great, but when you find yourself asking those questions, okay, I would encourage you to stop and look at the conversation we've just had and say, okay, what's the platform through which I can get my message to more people? What's the platform through which I can have more phone conversations and help more people? What's the platform through which I can get this valuable information that I have to more people? See, they're almost the same, okay? But the intentions that you have will change the emphasis. It'll change the things that you're getting hung up on. It doesn't matter what your tagline is or what your capture page looks like if the reason you have the capture page is just to generate a lead. If you're not seeing that capture page as an avenue to make somebody part of a captive audience that they will benefit from, being a part of. If you don't see it that way, the pieces never connect. Okay? And so many people that I spoke to this week are looking for the answer for them. They're looking for the answer for them. They're like, man, I've been at this a long time, and I did this for a while. And the three worst words I could ever hear in my life in this industry and you could ever speak are, and that didn't work. Okay? I think even Ray said that last night. I jumped on the second half of Ray's webinar. I heard this like 6 different calls this week. I did this and that didn't work, and that didn't work, and that didn't work. Okay? And the reality is you were so intent on that producing a result for you that when it didn't happen right away, you quit on it. Instead of recognizing that you quit on the fact that you were supposed to use that platform to get your message out to people. You quit on them, okay? Be selfish that way. Say, you know what? I can't quit on this because if I do, I can't get the satisfaction of helping somebody. I can't get my medicine. I can't get someone reaching out to me saying thank you. That's okay. Let me shut my Skype off there. You know, and believe me, here's the funny part. The answers, they're not very different questions, and the answers that you're looking for are going to come to you when you live in that place, when you function from that place, when you do business from that place. And I am telling you, many, many times, it's not like I lived here and then I went here. I've been in both sides of this over and over and over again in my business. Okay, it's just about being aware. You're going to catch yourself writing a hypey copy or going out there trying to sell something, or, you know, functioning from a place of, hey, you know, this is, how do I get more for me? How do I get mine, right? Like, you'll catch yourself there. I still catch myself there. It's not where the answer lies for you. Okay, so if you find yourself saying, hey, what's the best traffic strategy for me? It's a good marketing question. Okay, but really, you know, where am I going to get this message, this important message that I have to more people? See, we're not even looking at it from the point of, I've got this message to bring to people. We're like, hey, what's the best traffic strategy so I can get the leads and I can get the commissions? When you're living there, guys, the answers aren't, they don't come because you how do I put it? Because the satisfaction you're looking for doesn't come without the other piece of the puzzle. And that's why it doesn't work. I hope, questions, answers, feedback in the chat. If one of you guys is getting what I'm saying.
It was that was awesome. It was powerful. Let's see. I typed in the chat, guys, to go ahead if you want to do questions and answer. You're more than welcome to go ahead, and you can type them in the chat, or I open the Q&A, so you can type in the Q&A. But at least type in the chat. Does that? I know I saw a bunch of people already. Yep, great stuff. Great way to hear this. No one's going to appoint you a leader. You have to go ahead and make that decision yourself. It's your decision. Awesome. That's right. Are you seeing all this? Really feel this, Justice. Great stuff. My calling is success. Oh, my calling is success. A quote from Ray. Absolutely. It's so powerful. It's I read something that Rob Four wrote the other day, and it's like where you place. It was funny how you said it. It's like where you place the emphasis on the right syllable, right? You have to have the right emphasis, because if the emphasis is wrong, then it doesn't sound like emphasis. It sounds like emphasis, and it's a totally different word. It's a totally different word, and so it's like it's not. It's like that 1% of difference, that changing the degree of the question or the answer that you give, or the perception or the attitude that you take by just shifting it that 1 degree. That 1 degree isn't just a difference. That 1 degree is the difference.
The difference, yeah.
It's the difference. And we talked about it, I think, last week. It's like if you have an 89-degree angle, that 1 degree of difference is the difference between an 89-degree and a right angle. It's literally the difference between having your house being square and your walls all being crooked, right? And now you live in like you're going to live in an A-frame house. Like that's your only choice. You're living in a teepee now because that 1 degree of difference is the difference between having an angle and being straight up and down. And it's powerful. Powerful truth, powerful, hits home, Justice. So much great info, powerful.
Guys, can I give you a little bit of tough love here? I want your permission. I need some people. I need some people to give me some yeses over there in the chat, to make sure that those of you who are understanding what I'm saying, that you get the most out of it.
Let's see. It takes just a second.
I know there's a little delay.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay. So let's see. I'm sure that people are asking me now about my head. They're like, "Are you okay?" All it is I just barely hit it. So people are like messaging me. I'm like, "Relax, everyone. I just bumped it. I made a new house in Goat Village this weekend, and I put a header on it, you know, like up top, and I put it just right at that's how tall it is. It's right that tall. So when I'm standing up, that's how tall the header is. I should have raised it just a little bit. I
Just a
wasn't
little bit.
thinking. I was
Just
building
that
it for my
1%.
wife. I
Just
was
that 1%.
Yeah, it was that one. There it is. It's that 1% of increase in height would have made it so I could clear it. I was making it. I was really doing it for. All right, they said yes. Please
Okay.
do smack. Oh,
So here's the deal.
Bob Clark said even give some smackdown.
All right. So here's the deal, guys. Bert and I have the privilege of coming on here and sharing a powerful message with you guys today. And you know, when I ask for feedback, everybody gets on and they say great stuff, and they say, wow, this is so powerful, it hits home, so much great info. Oh, you know, I'm reading down the stuff. And I appreciate all of that. Here's my challenge to you. Get out there and freaking do something about it. Do something with the info. Do something with the fact that you feel inspired right now. Do something with the fact that it makes sense. Okay? You know, and I'm not saying go tag me on Facebook, but I saw Bob just tag me in a post on Facebook with a quote that hit home for him. And, you know, here's what happens, guys. People look at Bob and they go, man, this Bob, he's always up to something. He's always got these quotes. He's always listening to somebody. He's always, you know, he's always got something to share. He's always got, you know, a positive opinion on something, right? And then people, you know, people reach out to Bob and they go, hey man, you know, I really like your stuff. Thanks. You know, hey, I saw you that one day you were promoting this thing. You know, I've seen a lot about that. Can you tell me a little more? Right? You know, because people like Bob get out and they do something about it. Now, by that I don't mean that you know, that tagging me on Facebook is the answer. It may be sending an email. It may be writing a blog post. It may be picking up the phone. It may be making a video. But it's not enough to be in here and just say, I get it, I get it. Yes, I feel great. Okay, don't get addicted to the feeling you have when you hear it coming out of my mouth. Okay, because if you just get addicted to that, then you're going to get off this and you're going to go jump on another wake-up call. You're going to wait for a webinar tonight, and you're going to go in the chat box and you're going to say, great, this was so awesome. Step on the other side. Get out there and do something about it. If it makes sense to you, then put it in action. Put something in action today that keeps what you got out of this call alive. Because these ideas, these feelings, all this stuff, it all has a shelf life, right? I learned this from a video, Live the Dream 1, I think it was, Jerry Clark. And he said, ideas, they have shelf lives, guys. Why do you write something down? You write it down to extend its shelf life. Okay? Why do you tell somebody something? You tell somebody something, it extends its shelf life. How many times have you guys had an idea and then a day later you couldn't even remember what it was? It's because it expires. You get that? It has a shelf life. It's your job to extend the shelf life. Too many times you get on this call, you have the light bulb go off, and then you go, okay, that's great, and you just wait until it dims out and it disappears. Then you need another. Then you jump on another call or another webinar. The light bulb lights up again. Got an idea? It has a shelf life. It's your job to extend the shelf life. You have to do something about it. So that's my challenge to you today. There is a lot of day left. Okay, I challenge you to not just be the person that gets it, not just be the person that receives it, but be the person that does something with it. If you had an aha moment today, think of a way right now. You can all do it. Say, how can I have the aha moment that I had today help somebody else? And when I say do whatever that thought that comes to your mind is, don't just do it now. Do it now. Like everybody be jumping off the call, okay, to go do it. That's how you keep that idea alive. You know why the concepts that Bert shares with you and the concepts that I share with you, you know why we remember them? You know why they flow off our tongue so easily? Not because we learned them, but because we did something about it. Because we did something with them. That's what keeps the information, the value, all that stuff alive in you. So that's my challenge to you guys today. If you have any questions, pop them in. You know, Bert, I'll hang for a couple more minutes or whatever the deal is. I mean.
Awesome. So guys, awesome stuff, Justice. Super awesome. I already just thought of what I'm going to do. It's going to be awesome. Let me just say, I'm doing a video. I'm throwing it out there. I'm going to shoot a video when we get done with this, and it's going to be fun. Let me just say that. I try to make it simple and fun, right? And now I'm going to do my challenge. I like it when there's a challenge, right? Like when you say, hey, I'm going to challenge you to do something, because then it's like there's a reason, guys. It's like now I have a reason. Like, see, I'm going to go make something, right? And now when I put it out there, now I have authority. Now this is how I'm going to leverage it. I'm going to use your authority, Justice, to make my post. Like, I'm going to tag you and be like, thanks for the challenge this morning, Justice. Tag you. Here's what I did today. Booyah, right? So I'm using your authority, right, because you told me to do it. Now, it'd be weird if I just tagged you and you didn't have anything to do with it, right? Especially some of my content, right, which I learned sometimes my content's a little goofy, so if you're not directly related to it, sometimes it gets taken out of context. People are like, why are you putting that? So there you go. Debbie's on it. Boom. Debbie's got her content idea. So, guys, if you have questions, you can put them up in the Q&A. Or you can type in the chat if you want everyone to see it. Absolutely, message in a video, hit home for someone else. Awesome. Patty, I know you can do it, and congratulations to Patty. I saw the other day we brought something up. Do you remember this, Justice? Do you remember in the original 100-day challenge? You might not remember it, but I put like a picture of a leathery old guy that was like super tan, and I made like this whole thing about are you tanning in your business, taking action now? You remember that when I did that one?
I don't.
So it was like one of my first ones, like trying to be funny. I was like, I don't know if you can do like a play on words and stuff. And so I put this the guy must have been 70, but he was a Caucasian guy, but he just was brown. He was just so tanned. And so I brought that back alive earlier in the week, and Patty started sharing it. So I know Patty's going to be on it. She's going to go and do a video for it. Debbie's going to do it. Guys, I opened up the Q&A. I think you just covered everything so good. Sometimes you don't have questions because you just did a good job. And I think the question for today really isn't a question for Justice. The question is for you. And are you going to go out? Are you going to go out and take the challenge that Justice presented this morning? Right? Are you going to step up and do a challenge? Are you going to go out and do it? Are you going to go do it? And let me tell you, if you take the action right now this morning when we end this in just a few minutes here and go do it right away, the chances of you doing it increase by like a gazillion %. And on your calculator, a gazillion is after when you push so many zeros that it does like an error message, that's on the way to gazillion. That's what it looks like, a gazillion. Because if you wait until this afternoon, you will literally think your way out of the good idea. You'll think your way out of creating something, because the more you think about it, the more non-action you take, the farther away from actually taking the action you get, the more you think about it. So go out and do it. All right, Nancy's in, Phil's in, Patty's in, Debbie's in, Karen's in. I don't see any questions in the Q&A, and I know that there's a little bit of time lapse. No questions, busy writing. All right, people are already going for it. Look, they're already writing their blog posts. People are probably YouTube capturing right now at the same time. Justice, I want to thank you so much for coming out again on Free Daily Coaching. It's always amazing having you out. Today, Literally, today was, I think, the greatest interview I've ever done. I might now promote this as the greatest interview I've ever done. And the reason why is I literally did an introduction, and that was it. I didn't even have to ask a question. Like, the questions were implied, and you answered questions that, really the powerful part about that is you got to speak from the heart, and you get to share something that was really the message that was on your mind today, and that was with you. So it was awesome. All right, Jack's in, Judy's in. Look, people are still in, so there must be a little bit more of a delay than we thought. So it looks like people are in. I want to thank you, Justice, so much. Like I said, it's just always it's a privilege to have you out. It's been so powerful getting to know you as a person, as a friend, as a mentor. You've been absolutely incredible. And the cool part is this, guys, and especially I want you to know this, Justice. The cool part is that in the very beginning of my coming online, you were this mentor of mine, and at some point we also became friends. But when that happened, it wasn't like we became friends and then like you were like, oh, okay, we're friends now. I'm gonna stop my own personal development and just be we'll just stop here. You kept on you keep on doing things and growing and learning, and so because you keep doing that, that mentorship stays there. It enables that, and it enables that friendship to now this is what it really did. It enabled that friendship to now make a level of comfortability so that I can actually talk to you on a better level, or from my perspective, right? I can actually ask better questions, and as long as you keep on growing, you'll keep on staying ahead, right? Keep on learning these lessons. I can glean from that experience, and to me, that's the magic part of it. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you're already like 5-10 miles ahead of me in the race, and I can literally call you and be like, yo, dude, what happens at mile 15? And you're like, bro, you better drink some water at 13, dude, because there's no more water stops until we get to, mile 17. So drink up. It's like, hey, cool, thanks for telling me. And so thank you for for your efforts to keep on growing and developing, and the continued sharing of it. I really, really appreciate it.
Likewise, buddy, because I mean, everything I talked about on here today, I believe 1,000%. And when I talk about, my challenges and seeing an opportunity to share what I've learned as a form of, I keep calling my medicine as a form of medication. I mean, you are one of the biggest sources, because I can't tell you, watching you, seeing what you've done after the 100-day challenge, it just, believe it or not, guys, it took my belief level to a whole nother, it took my belief to a whole nother level. It was like, how many Berts are there in the world that are ready to just share their message, and how big can we make the 100-day challenge, and how many people can we get to come through it, and how many people can we get to commit to the fundamentals and all that different stuff, and I mean, this call that you do every single morning, I mean, watching you do this, it keeps me on track. Okay, watching what you do keeps me on track. I want you guys to all experience that, and see, it's when you guys watch us and you're like, man, I love these calls, they keep me on track, right? Go be responsible to people, be want to have something new to share next time we talk, you know what I mean, Bert? Next time we're on the phone, like, want to have, you have to want to have an aha moment between now and that next conversation with the person that you connected with last week, that like, you're like, hey, guess what guess what's happened here? Guess what I'm seeing now? Guess what scope guess what frame of reference I have now? How I've expanded things for myself. Let me share. So I hope this was a great call, Bert. I can't thank you enough, buddy. I just, if you guys don't understand how special what this guy does is, and the fact that you guys jump on here in the morning, I mean, says that you do. But, share his message with everybody. Get people exposed to this, because this is dedication. I mean, this has been, how long have you been doing this call, Bert?
Oh man. Well, it's been a hangout. We know that it's been a hangout now for over a year because we started the hangout process on like in right around 4th of July last year when it came a like full-time hangout, but the call itself has been going for like a year and a half because we started the call like maybe February of what 2000 and like February of 2013, February at the like the sometime in the end of February or March of 2013. So we've
You,
been
you,
going
guys,
pretty we've been going pretty strong.
you guys realize Bert just got out and did something about it? Started
Yeah,
a call with nobody that like didn't even know if anybody was going to be on it,
there was a lot of days in the very beginning it was just me talking on the telephone.
right?
Mhm. I
Awesome.
mean, I tried to be more excited, like, yeah, welcome. And I'll tell you the one thing that it was a part of what you talked about in attraction marketing, and part of what you said. I was talking to my wife this morning, and I was like, part of this, and you said it is just it's don't quit, is be there for the people, and have that message that you have to share, like have a heart of service, so that you're out there to say, hey, I'm going to stay here so that I can share. So yeah, it's selfish. I'm sharing because it makes me feel good, but I'm sharing because it will help other people. Part of that is like if you just stay where you're at, if you could just stay in one place for long enough, you'll by default you will be able to you will allow this is the reality. You can allow yourself to help hundreds, maybe thousands of people if you will allow yourself to stay in one place for long enough for that to transpire. Because imagine this, if you know that there's people, hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people every single day coming into home-based businesses, and you know that the statistical average is that they're bouncing around from place to place, and you know that every day there's brand new people, that's powerful. Knowing that information is powerful, because if you just stay in one place, it's like being a bumper. And remember that bumper pool game when you were a little kid? There was like pools.
I
Remember that bumper pool? And it
do.
had the bumpers in it? Check this out. Every single bumper has like the little rubber around the like porcelain like knob part that was the bumper. Why? Because eventually, no matter what, every single bumper on that table gets knocked around. It doesn't matter where it's on the table. It's because it's locked down to the table forever. It's on the table. So guess what? By default, every single bumper pool game that gets played on there, the bumpers are getting hit. It's going to happen. So it's the
Yeah.
same thing. You can become that bumper. Become the guy that just stands there and just keep keep training and developing you, and at that same time keep doing what Justice is talking about. Watch out, Eugene's getting caught up here. At the same time, be that trainer, be that person, and stay in that one place, and that's it, guys. You can be powerful. You can have a powerful message. And the funny part is this, when Justice talks about it, like, wow, that's the thing. Think about it, though. What is it? I just get up and show up every single day. That's it. That's all I do. It's one simple thing that you showed me. Just get up and show up every day. Like, if any other job, any other thing in life that you would want to do, you would do that every day, right? Like, you don't
It's
want cavities, you get up and brush your teeth every day,
it's
right?
wild, and I don't want to. Obviously we've done a very long call,
Right, right.
but and I don't want to keep anybody on here too much longer, and I've got things to do, and I'm sure you have things to do. But um, the content I did yesterday was about a couple of tips to battle procrastination, and there were some productivity tips, and one of the things that I shared was something I learned from Tim Ferriss, and that was that you can't work your way out of procrastination. Okay? See, or you can't work your way out of overwhelm. I'm sorry. You can't work your way out of overwhelm. So when people feel overwhelmed, they think, I need to work more, right? I need to get more done so that I can reduce this pile. You can only prioritize your way out of overwhelm. And the reality is, what Bert just said is so powerful, because there are really only a few fundamental things. If you did just a couple of things every single day, you can't lose, right? If Bert just did this call every single day, things would happen. Things would keep moving forward. People would reach out. Facebook friends would appear out of nowhere. Messages would appear. Sales would appear. Now, is Bert going to just do this call? No, because he wants more. Okay? But the point is when all else fails, when Bert feels like, oh my God, today's just not the day. I hit my head yesterday building my goat house, and he this is a non-negotiable. This is what he does, and for that reason, Bert's business always moves forward. For that reason, Bert will always have something going on. Things will always be going in the right direction, and I'm telling you guys, if you just subscribe to that philosophy, so much can change for you. So listen, I think that we should probably sign off. It's 20 after 11. I've got some priorities of my own that I've got to knock out for today. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Bert. Love you, buddy. Thanks for having me on today. And we'll all be talking really soon.
Thank you. Everyone, have a great day. Remember, every single morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Easy way to get there, www.freedailycoaching.com. We'll see you guys next time. I'm going to send them over to your website, Justice.
Cool.
Bam. Go.